Good morning to all. Today, I convey my best wishes and warm regards on behalf of Assamese New Year's and also for Rangali Bihu, that is in Bahag Bihu. I, I pray God for your good health and long contented life with love, pity, mercy as a God gift on the occasion of Rangali Bihu. Last week I had visited visited a place about 2-3 kilometers away from my place where a drastic landslide was noticed, and it was reported a lot of casualties also. So uh, long back I had discussed about the landslides problem of Northeast India. So I want to say something about our northeastern region and Northeast India. Northeast India, this is 8 states. Earlier it was 7 sisters. Now it is 8 sisters. These are Assam. Originally, Assam was consisted of Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. But since, or if you look at this map, look at this map. This is the map of northeastern region. This portion is Assam, and this is Arunachal. It was centrally ruled NEPA, Northeast Frontier Agency. It is Nagaland, and it is Imphal, it is Mizoram, it is Tripura, it is Meghalaya, and this is Bhutan. Our nearest foreign land is Bhutan, and it is Sikkim. Except Bhutan, all this portion consisting our northeastern region. Eh, The most of the places of northeastern region, hilly states. In a word, anyone can say northeast is a hilly state. Even Assam, both Brahmaputra Valley and Barak Valley is uh, about 50% hills and the rest are floodplain deposit. In this hilly stage, we are always facing unabated landslide problems among almost every monsoon period. This landslide problem creates lot of troubles to the entire northeast India. Mainly, surface connectivity was disturbed, interrupted, and which led to a food crisis and blockade of road movement of people from one place to another. So it became Assam, this Northeast India became isolated space from with the rest of the country. Because our northeastern region is not by air connectivity in all places except the few major towns in Assam, Guwahati, Tezpur, Dibrugarh, Lakhimpur. In Shillong, in Meghalaya, it is only Shillong is connected. Rest portion is not yet connected by air connectivity. Rail also, somewhere, in some state, it touches the borders, or others, some of them are not even touch the border. So, so it became very difficult for our livelihood during especially in monsoon period. No one can give any assurance about landslide. It is beyond the prediction. No one can predict when and where landslide will be happening. This landslide also produced lot of casualties, fatal casualties, and damages a lot of property. You see in this picture, this Bhutan also nearby. Although it is foreign country, it is just close to Assam, very close to Assam and Bengal. One side is close to Bengal, another is Assam and Arunachal. So this landslide also produce some amount of transported materials like what we call silt, fine sand, or like that, debris to the main rivers of Assam and other parts of our northeast India, which another cause of rising flood and river bank erosion. Although if there is no direct relationship between flood with landslide, but indirectly it has a good relationship between landslide and frequent flood and bank erosion. What happened? All these landslided materials, what we call spoils or debris, these are carried by rain to nearest water bodies, which are ultimately connected with some major tributaries of northeast India, resulting raising up of river bed, which decreases the waterways throughout the northeastern region, which leads leads to bank erosion and frequent flood level, frequent high floods, damaging lives and crops and properties. Almost all of the area consisted of small to medium hills, typically known as young Himalayan ranges. Even you see, Tripura is at a much higher elevation than Assam, although it is very close to Bangladesh. In Assam, about, about half of the land area is at upper elevation, that is small hills, and, and Assam is typically surrounded all side by hills. One side it is Arunachal, other side is Meghalaya, another side is Nagaland, another side is Mizoram, All this hilly stage covered Assam, surrounded Assam, and worst affected of this landslide resulted rise of river beds which causes floods. The topsoil of all hills simply consisted of red hill soil of low permeability up except Barak Valley of Assam, Nagaland and Manipur. Soil formation of Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram has been classified as laminated shell disintegrated soil like that of Barak Valley, while the soil formation of Brahmaputra Valley consisted of flat plain deposit. Soil formation of Meghalaya considered as conglomerate deposit with very big boulders and cobbles as matrix and little of radial soil as fillers. The radial soil has a special characteristics. It exhibits very high dry strength. One can say it is rock-like hard, but behaves like very soft, lean clay on saturation. In a word, all the hilly regions are always worst affected by landslide during and after a monsoon, more especially from April to September. In this regard, I have a strong opinion. My opinion is all natural slopes are stable unless disturbed by human. Because you see, I personally saw since my childhood at foothill of Nagaland, where people preparing plain land for agricultural use. You may you may feel that they will be cutting the hills and they will be leveling it for their livelihood. It is no. They simply dig up a trench at some higher elevation in the lean season and kept for a monsoon open. During monsoon, ra- during monsoon rain will started raining and huge landmass started sliding, and next year it became their agricultural land. This is perhaps, in my opinion, rainwater percolated through the cut trends and soil below softened to a high extent and decreasing the shear strength became inadequate to resist against sliding. Because when there will be no base resistance, a soil mass can slide very easily without any resistance. It can easily slide. Since these soils are not fertile for uh, cultivation, except some fruit products, they generally prefer pineapple, banana, papaya plantation only. This phenomenon practically prove that the rainfall and soil permeability has a major role in landslide. What I personally feel I expressed here, the soil rainfall intensity and soil permeability is jointly responsible for lands, landslides in hilly region. These are, this is Nagaland. In these slides, in these slides, 17 people were killed. Korimganj landslide. One or two officially, one people say that more than one were buried alive. This is Arunachal landslide only because of high rainfall intensity. This is Barak Valley. Barak Valley people started cutting soils there, and landslide started damaging few houses there. All these are some houses, all that damaged. The Arunachal Pradesh landslide. This was the road which was constructed, and the due to unplanned cutting. You see, it is a naked hill. They made the cut surface in such a way that no one can climb up. They will be slipping down. It is Itanagar landslide because there is no. You see, there shall be some amount of in cases of such huge uh, landslide is taken place only because of unplanned cutting without considering probable threat and what shall be protective measures. This unplanned cut, this is in Itanagar, the capital of Arunachal state. Arunachal. The above picture depicted clearly that the drastic and unplanned hill cutting for surface connectivity and deforestation of hills is another major cause of present landslide crisis. Undoubtedly, we need development activity for the development activity of our society, and infrastructure development is basic need for our development, but it must be within the coverage of proper planning with due consideration of ecological balance. A criminal must be punished, but it should be as per judiciary system like IPC, CRPC, as per our constitution. He should be punished. Deforestation is also a major cause of landslide because plants absorb about 25% of rainwater. Approximately 25% of rainwater percolated underground depending upon the soil condition. In some cases, some soil it will be more, in some soil it will be less because it is dependent on the void, permeability and such things. Rest, all rainwater is drained out to the surface, and the surface drainage which also produces raincut which will be again transported. In addition to this, the root of plants transform normal soil mass into reinforced soil. This reinforced soil is the present popular method of hill slope stabilization is presently very much popular with planting. If we take a flashback of ancient history, especially from 2000 to 268 to 232 BC, Ashoka, a great king of Indian continent, subcontinent had conducted a massive plantation program on both sides of the roads, which may not be only for air purification or production of fruits or set for the pedestrian either. In my opinion, he had introduced soil reinforcement of road formation as well as to provide a dynamic balance between the soil saturation and transpiration of soil moisture by plant roots. Because it was long back, it has been introduced by the Ashoka. Now, deforestation lead, is leading to another phenomenon, the soil surface crack, due to decrease of oxygen in our atmosphere in dry area and, and in the absence of plant, the amount of carbon is increasing, which has a maximum capacity of absorbing heat, resulting soil surface crack. The rainwater can easily percolated inside surface cracks and soil mass, reducing shear strength to a high extent. This rainwater is entered through this crack and the soil below is uh, strengthless. Shear strength in such a stage it became nearer to zero. These are, you see, these are the unplanned hill cut in Khasi Hills. These are the lot of the houses are damaged. People were buried alive. Another major, another major problem is this unplanned cutting is nowadays population explosion leads to the construction of dwelling house on these hills, starting from foothill to hilltop. The basic reason is migration of people from the remote rural area to nearby city or town, mainly due to lack of basic needs like food, medical facilities, education facilities. You cannot believe or you shall be surprised to note that in many rural areas of northeastern India, still in this scientific age, are using cart. Cart means is some wooden like tom tom or this auto rickshaw like that type of vehicle carried by normally by horse or by cow or other means. Sometimes few people make some arrangement putting some bamboo or all these things and four people keeping taking him and soldiers and they are moving on foot so nearly about 30-50 kilometers away to admit him health care where doctor may not be available, where no medicine available. These are these are the basic needs uh, here in some rural areas, these basic needs are not at all available. No one can easily say that hill cutting is an offense. Because hill cutting is offense. Yes, it is a crime. No one should destroy the nature. But tears of empty stomach are more painful than anything in the small earth. Who are suffering, they are they can believe it. Who are not suffering, empty stomach, sleepless, empty stomach, without any cloth, without any shelter. People are living here so painfully. For him, life is death. So for him, hill cutting cannot be an offense. Yes, it is offense. It is a crime. No one should destroy the nature. But the tears of the empty stomach also painful. I am very much confident that without the fulfillment of basic needs of people of rural areas, our country cannot think for better tomorrow. Just we can imagine the day will come. I shall be I shall be becoming a rich man. I shall be very wise man. I shall be very learned man. But without food, I cannot live to that extent. Undoubtedly, I am not supporting this unauthorized hill cuttings, but undoubtedly, these unauthorized hill cutting also creating a huge landslide problem in northeast India. This is landslide at Guwahati. This is landslide at Jurabad. Because they have cut the hills and constructed something, and during summer or during monsoon, heavy rainfall is coming, so started sliding. It's Guwahati itself. Landslide at Aizawl, they have their future is dismissed. Landslide in Kohima, in Nagaland, their road was settled down, road was damaged, totally damaged. It was highway, it was totally damaged. This is at Pandu. Pandu is earlier port city of Guwahati. We can say it is the port city of Assam. This is at Gorsuk. Gorsuk is this place I had visited. Gorsuk is it is about 3 kilometers from here where I am sitting here. It is about 3 kilometers. People have started construction, started cutting and constructing their house, and slide started during monsoon, and at, this is few houses were damaged and people, however, whether any death or not, I do not confirm, but a lot of casualties were there. Highways of Gangtok, Sikkim, no slope protection provision. No, this is highway. And they cut this hill, just they make surface of the road and landslide started. Because heavy rainfall, they do not imagine that rain may produce this mass of problems, and They do not think for any protective measures. This is landslide damages many houses in Kohima, in Meghalaya. These people are observing when they clearing the debris. People are observing many damages of houses. Few buildings collapsed due to landslide at Mizoram, and lot of people, lot of people injured. Few buildings were totally collapsed, and uh, more than more than uh, government says that it is around 87. Local people say it is more than few hundreds buildings were buried alive. This is, you see, in this building, one gentleman is buried alive. These landslides create critical situation in the entire northeast India during monsoon, making isolation from the rest of the country. Many a time, crises of foodstuff are also reported due to lack of surface connectivity. I have already said that rail connectivity, most of the remote areas is still very poor. In addition, many people lost their lives and quite a good number of people are buried alive. So painful. I am I feel lot of pains to express the buried alive. I feel very shocked. I am shocked. I am I am incapable to light the fire of a dead person because my hands tremble. I am and I cannot see a man buried alive. However, what has happened, it is not beyond my control. I cannot say anything except my sufferings, except my uh, con- consolation. I cannot do anything. The reason behind the landslide are classified broadly into two groups: natural calamity, such as excessive rainfall of northeast India, loose soil formation, seismic activity. But surprisingly, the the landslide due to seismic activity recorded to be negligible in case of natural hill slopes. In a word, there is no landslide of natural hill during earthquake. No record so far. And man-made hazardous activity against the nature. These are unplanned hill cutting, mildly development activities without proper protective measure, deforestation, improper drainage system at the toe of the hill to regulate the rainwater runoff, other destruction like quarry and blasting, terrace cultivation. Terrace cultivation is nowadays terrace cultivation is some uh, some cozy fashion. Somebody in their building, some area has been developed in top or in extended portion, some flower tub or flower tub or flower tree or like this they are started. It is terrace. And the terrace, it is out of the own house. But in fact, I am using this terrace word. Terrace cultivation is zoom cultivation. Zoom cultivation among the hilly tribes of our northeastern region, they do not have low-lying area where some paddy cultivation or maize cultivation, which we call makoi, or sugarcane, this type of cultivation they are prefer maize or sugarcane or uh, some amount of vegetables like cabbage. At best, they can go for a pineapple, banana, and for papaya. This type of cultivation they made, and their land is when they will be using that land. After 2, 3 cultivation, the land became the fertility of the land shall be decreasing day by day, and after 2, 3 years cultivation, they will be changing for other place. So it is Jum. Jum is a tribal word. Jum means people became group and cultivating one place this year, 2, 3 years at one place, and after that they will be going another place. They will be cultivating there. They will be making land for cultivation, and after that again they will be going another place, and they after 10, 15 years they will be coming to the original place. By this time, by grace of God or by a natural process, the land will be became fertile. They have started their crops again there. Another is construction of dwelling houses at hill slopes. These are the man-made the man-made activities. You see, it is 8 basic region man-made, and here only up to sea, that is 3. Excessive rainfall we cannot reduce, loss of soil formation we cannot change. By natural process, it has been by uh, geotechnical engineers. As I am a professional in this field, I shall say that it will be disintegrated from rock mass. So it is geological process. Formation of loose soil mass is a geological process. You and I cannot change this process. Seismic activity, yes, Northeast is, Northeast is in seismic zone 5. But no landslide recorded during earthquake of natural hill slopes. If we see with wide open eyes, we must say that the magnitude of landslide triggered by natural calamities are very less than the human hazardous activities. In earlier days, during late 60s, 55, 50, 1955, say 1960, like that, report of landslide anywhere, anywhere, even been heard. We never heard. I am from my native place. I am coming to in 1955. to this Guwahati, I never heard. Of course, in that time, Guwahati was a very small town. City does not arise in terms of thousands population. Thousands now became 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs like that. Soon after commencement of development work, the problems of landslide started. Undoubtedly, infrastructure development is our prime need for marching ahead and enjoying a good living. Without the road, without anything, we cannot enjoy our life. This is the scientific age. In this scientific age, I am, one can talk whole the world at a time. With this video, I, I can speak whole the world at a time. Whole the world can hear my words. In this scientific age, if there is no good road, there is no road at all. What is our life? What is the development? We need all this development. But at the same time, we should not forget the probable damage estimation with necessary preventive measures. In my opinion, the cost of early prevention is much less than the recurring maintaining expenses. If we take in, say, our one road is constructed along a foothill. If at the time of construction, what is necessary for to arrest the landslide, we should provide at the time of construction itself. That cost shall be much less. Then year after year we will be maintaining a recurring. It will be every year we have to spend so much of money. So that is much more. So we should go for initial one-time expense. Why you are going for uh, recurring expenses? Our great Nobel scientists have developed so many viable solutions such as soil reinforcement, drainage system for quick release of pore water pressure, geogrid, grass carpeting, etc., which are effectively used in many places in our country and abroad. Since developed countries are also suffering the same problem, they have also landslide, they have also did some amount of mistakes. Now, the sufferings give us some solution. We are without sufferings, no one can find out solution. So our noble scientists and great scientists, they are finding out this solution. This we must apply it. To this context, I would like to add here that natural preventive measures, that is, to go back to past. We must go back to past. We must have to create some green hill. Instead of red hill, we should go for green hill. If we go for, if we can go back to our past, we can do everything all right. I feel massive plantation of fast growing trees tree is essential at hilltop and hill slope to avoid further drastic landslide in the coming days. The root system of people means Buddhi tree. Some says Buddhi tree, where from Gautam Buddha get his supreme knowledge. Or some people say that Ahat in Assamese and in northeastern region it is known as Ahat. It's best for soil reinforcement to a larger area sufficiently below the surface. In addition to this, plantation of vetiver plants nowadays popularly used for soil erosion control. Vetiver, these are available in market also, and the slopes are considered most effective. The, the roots of the vetiver go in such a manner up to a certain extent of depth, 5 to 10 meter, if they do not get water level. So our slide prone area are hill where water level is not easily stuck up. So the length shall be 5 to 10 meter. So vetiver give proper reinforcement of soil. This reinforcement also help some bondage energy, which we normally in engineering terms with cohesive force. Plantation of carpet grass at slopes locally. In my opinion, carpet grass means uh, Korean carpet grass, Italian carpet grass. These are costly. Locally available grass, which was earlier days used as turfing at high embankment. During earlier construction of embankment, there is an item, turfing. Means, uh, so some locally available grass are available all over the northeastern region. They cut it with spade, with soil and roots, everything. They will be uh, slicing it and placed at the slope. Shall resist the soil rain cut. This grass, what is called turfing, it shall resist the soil rain cut and shall absorb good amount of soil moistures besides the soil particles producing sufficient bondage. In addition to this, a proper drainage system is to be provided with a steep gradient, steeper than the natural slope, to avoid waterlogging at lower elevation. The important aspect of these measures is government people cooperation. The present law of the land not granted the ownership of the tree growers. Problem is there. I met many villagers who are residing at the foothills or nearby foothills. Uh, they normally say they actually what happened if I maintain the trees as soon as trees grown up, it will be government property. Whole my several years labor will be useless. It will be government property. I cannot cut it. I cannot sell it. This is our law. So, if government is coming forward to amend the existing rules, people, mostly local people who are residing at foothills, shall surely keep their hands with the government and also protect the further encroachment. Actually, what happened if government is gives some relaxation, uh, this will be your land, you grow tree, and at least you give some amount as a revenue to the government, and rest it is yours. Even even if I grow up a thick tree, I cannot cut it. I have to take permission. I have to give some royalty, so many formalities. It is so people are not going for cultivation as a cultivation or some as a professional means no one is interested for plantation of tree either in own land or in some other land. But if people are interested, if rules has been more amendment, little amendment, then if the local people had planted up, look after the trees, they will be not allowing further encroachment of government land or hills or anything. They will be protecting it because since this land is belong to him, as land is belong to him, if someone is coming and cross it, they will prevent it. So indirectly, they will be looking after not only their trees, they will be looking after entire the hills. So I hope government should come forward to consider this aspect to save our valuable life and our nature. I am always available at jcgogoi@gmail.com. Thank you all. Please have a very sweet and pleasant day. Sarve Sukhina Bhavantu. Sarve Santu Niramaya. So please be happy. Please be healthy. Please be